Hello there. I'd like to talk about video games, online multiplayer video games. Yeah, this is kind of a, maybe even a response video to another video. Yeah, back in the 80s I remember when, I think it was Atari brought out that, like, tennis, video tennis. Beep, 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 beep. And I just wanted to see what was making that dot work. I just wanted to see how the game worked, what was amusing, what was entertaining the people. Later I got a computer, started developing games of my own and stuff, with ZX80 back in the 80s, 4 kilobytes RAM. Just imagine, not a great deal you can do with it. Back then you couldn't get a girlfriend with a computer, so I decided to get an electric guitar. But that's beside the point. My love of computer games and gaming stayed all this time, and even years later when I started using a computer for music, still curious of the gaming scene. And as an open source software Linux fan, I started playing this online game, this open source online game, Alien Arena. And yeah, you've got different variations for those of you who don't know about online gaming. For example, you know, you get yourself a nickname and a little soldier avatar, and you log into the server and join a team if it's a team game. And I used to play team games, and I liked teamwork. And so you've got this interesting dynamic of people all from around the world using avatars and working together against each other. And some really interesting dynamics there. There was one game called Capture the Flag. And the idea is your team, you've got, say, maybe even just as many as 8 or 10 people on your team, and you've got to get across to the enemy's side, get their flag and get it back to your flag post to get the points. And I suppose winning has to be a point of the game, otherwise, you know, I don't know. It's the only thing that people get passionate about in the game. I used to like the human element. As a programmer, I often thought, you know, how would a game be best programmed? You know, what doors, what corridors, what tricks and traps, what bugs could be misused by the user. You know, and in Alien Arena, there was sometimes, you know, trolls, game trolls, as usual. You know, from your own team, some guy would get the flag straight away and then run into a really difficult place to get and hide with it for the whole game. Which means nobody could win. And if the server's set up so you can't shoot your own players, then you can't stop him. And so you've got one guy with a team flag just boycotting the game, basically, just taking all the fun away from it. And that team obviously wins, or that person wins, you know, due to his score. But who cares? We was in there for the teammanship. So I'm out of breath. I don't know, there was other games, you know, that you could play, like, you know, just on your own. And I always thought the people who wanted to play like that should go off on their own. But I've got to admit, these game trolls added an amazing kind of flair to the game. You know, some of them had learned all kinds of special little bugs and tricks and things that they could, ways that they could manipulate the keyboard so they could shoot and jump and everything at the same time. And that's what I like about the online game. In fact, that's what I liked about all games. It was almost like there was a ghost in the game making it work, and it would come out and get the people who were playing it. You know, take ping pong, tennis, table tennis, video tennis, take real tennis. You know, two guys meet in the pub, get talking, you know. Oh, I play tennis. Oh well mate, I play tennis as well. Let's go have a game of tennis. So down at the tennis match, you know, pock, pock, pock. That was a good game of tennis, mate. You're a really good player. No, you are. You're a really good player. No, you're better than me. Show me your backhand. All right, yeah, next time. Met best friends. A few weeks later, you know, one of them's maybe eyed up the other's girlfriend or something and upset him. The next game of tennis on that court isn't really about the ball, isn't about the game tennis, isn't about love 15. You know, it's about the opponent and that aggression between, you know, that relationship. Interesting stuff. So, you know, we're back to human behaviour. You know, we'll come from computers, virtual reality, back to human behaviour. Because that's where it always ends up, really. Life is a state of mind in the end of the day. So if you're in a virtual world shooting monsters, there's always like, it's a kind of metaphorical world. It's almost, you know, we play out these different relationship games, say, under the guise of other games, maybe. I don't know, I don't want to get into psychology of like game players and stuff, because there's different kinds. There's those types of game players that get really obsessed, and some are out to prey on the needs of others, as always. You know, honing on other people's vulnerabilities. But generally with them games, you know, I think if you're playing an online computer game, and you can feel it in your stomach and your heart and all of that stuff, what I said in the last 6 kind of mad episodes there. You know, you can feel it in your stomach. You can feel when you're like losing or winning. You can feel that you're taking it far, far, far too seriously. But you also need to take it seriously in order to play it through. It's just about watching. It's like making fire. You know, you have to be careful that it doesn't spread and catch fire. You need to be able to control the fire, and if it gets into if it breaks out, you need to not just run from it, but, you know, sort of address it without panicking. You know, I don't know. I'm just wobbling off and ranting off on something else, I guess. But I'll catch you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Cheerio.